Today's episode is brought to you by Cars.com. With over 2 million vehicles and 50,000 more added every day, Cars.com will match you with the perfect car for you, your budget, your life, your style. And if you're ready to say goodbye to your current car, Cars.com will get you an instant offer to cash it in. Just start by entering your license plate and get matched with a local dealer who will write you the check. So whether you're looking to buy or sell, just go to Cars.com. It's magical.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Moneyball Minute. My name is Kirk Henderson. I'm editor-in-chief of Mavs Moneyball.com. You are joining me on Thursday, September 29th. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. The first story I wanted to talk about was one that we wrote about on Mavs Moneyball. It first began on theheavy.com with Sean Devaney talking about how a rival executive has told him that Draymond Green would love to play with Luka Doncic. It's one of these stories that's fun to talk about at this point in the year, mainly because it seems so far-fetched. It doesn't really seem possible, like how would Green even join the team, et cetera, but thinking about how he might play with Luka is fun. Green is entering in the last year of a contract, I believe, and really he wants to finish his career in Golden State, but he doesn't really have a ton of leverage because I think there's an argument to be made that Draymond Green is at his best when playing with Steph Curry, and the Warriors are at their best when Draymond Green is part of their, very well-oiled machine, as evidenced by the championships. So our man David Trink wrote on that story. It's here on Mavs Moneyball. It's also in your show notes. You should go give it a listen. The second story I wanted to point you to, we aggregated a piece. Bill Simmons had Brian Windhorst on his podcast on Wednesday, the 28th here, and in that piece, it's a lot of LeBron talk, and it's actually surprisingly interesting and nuanced LeBron talk. I recommend it. But one of the things that they hit on is that Windhorst mentioned that the Mavericks would be a sneaky candidate for the final phase of LeBron James' career, mainly because of how often he talks about Luka Doncic. And I think that's particularly interesting, when paired with the last story on Draymond, because both of these guys are clutch guys. They both are represented by Clutch Agency, and I think Clutch as a sports agency is high-key pursuing Luka pretty hard. I don't really know the status of Luka with his current agent. They've been together for a real long time, but it's just interesting to watch a full court press out in the open. LeBron just signed a 2-year extension, so it's such kind of a ridiculous thing to even consider. But our guy Logan Thompson wrote this piece. It's fun. He really liked the speculative nature of it. It's just, it's the time of year for this. We're in preseason. Basketball hasn't started yet. Speaking of preseason, we got a pair. We've started rolling out our player previews. We're going to do one every weekday until we're done. We started on Tuesday with a JaVale McGee analysis piece by Ben Zadell that is also going to be in the show notes. That is really good, and one from Matt Gilroy on the French Prince, Frank Ntilikina, who is apparently going to be getting some second and third string point guard minutes. Frank is just going to be such an interesting topic of discussion because even after 5+ years in the league, it still feels like we don't really know who he is, and he's just going to get a real opportunity. Then, on, let's see here, it was on ESPN, Zach Lowe had a little bit of a riff on why he thinks that Christian Wood could really be like a dark horse sixth man of the year candidate. He said that he thinks Wood can average 20 points and close a lot of games for the Mavericks. Wood is going to be kind of a constant topic of conversation on our site and others, I think, over the next several weeks until we see, it'll probably be mid-December until the Mavericks rotation actually shakes out into something regular. And, I'm looking forward to overreacting to just about everything as it comes to Wood, because Wood is the guy who extends the Mavericks ceiling, but he is also responsible to a degree to where if he doesn't pan out, then the Mavericks have a much lower floor. I think Wood is just that important to this team, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he plays. And so our guy Matt Phillips, wrote this piece and really compared. He did a little bit of a look back at the Sixth Man of the Year award winners in Dallas Mavericks history. Talks about Roy Tarpley. He compared, and then obviously Jason Terry in 08-09, and then interestingly enough, the Anton Jameson 03-04 award winner. And I think that's a really fun comp because Jameson, the Mavericks ended up trading the next year for Jerry Stackhouse and the pick that would become Devin Harris. But the sort of guy looking for his next thing is really, I like that. I like that thought because it's a good comp. Obviously Jameson, much more decorated player, but I think that a lot of people are either way too low on Wood or way too high. And like I said, he's just going to be kind of a constant topic of conversation. Then another one of our new contributors, Brent Brooks, listened and really thought hard about Jason's Kidd's sort of intro to the season on Mavs Media Day. And he wrote a piece called 6 Takeaways from Head Coach Jason Kidd's Media Day Interview. And I don't want to spoil any of it for you, but I really like this sort of it's borderline over analysis. That's how thirsty we are for basketball, and it's a lot of fun. Then we have the second in a series of columns. It's going to be happening all year by Matt Robertson, who is new to our staff here, and she wrote it's a series that's called Basketball is About Feelings, and the headline for this one is When Luka Believes Special Things Happen. And I really like her column. This is the second one she's written. Again, another one I don't want to spoil, but just really get you, if you guys think our site is grumpy, these are the sort of pieces which we're going to be putting out with a little more balance this year. Because basketball's fun. We love basketball at our site. It doesn't always come across, but that's definitely the feeling. Then the last piece I want to point you to is one from Ben Zadell, who wrote, "The Mavericks will have to surprise the NBA again this season." It's a little bit of the other side of the coin to this Luka piece, in the sense of Ben I think is a little down on our team. It's okay. Not because he thinks they're bad, just because I think, the Mavericks have a tough road to hoe. And he walks through, elements of why he thinks the Mavericks are going to need to surprise people again. And it's a really nice column. Again, so thank you so much for starting your day. I really hope you consider clicking into these pieces. I'm going to be resuming doing, Moneyball Minute probably 3 to 4 times a week. And then when the season kicks off, I will probably do Moneyball Minute for every non-game day morning. So if the Mavericks play on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning you won't have anything. But if there's a break between games, then Thursday morning of game day after one day off, I'll probably have something for you, because we have our regular shows, the After Darks, the post game reactions. We have the live show that we're doing. We have this, and I will probably be trying to do some more interviews with other teams, people, just to expand sort of more than just my very biased Mavericks talk. Thanks so much for listening. If you could go give us a star review, on either Spotify or Apple or whatever subscription service you use, as well as if they give you the opportunity to leave a written review, that sort of stuff very much helps us out. Looking forward to a great season, and we'll be back when we're back. Everybody have a great Thursday.